All right, so strap yourselves in, folks. We are diving deep, deep into this UAP congressional hearing that's been making waves everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
I know you've been following along at home, but we're going way beyond the headlines.
Oh, yeah.
We're diving into those transcripts, the expert analysis, all of it.
A whole 9 yards.
Exactly. And our mission to figure out once and for all if the government's finally taking UAP seriously and what that shift, if it's even real, what it means for us. What do you think? What's really got you hooked on this?
For me, it's the call for transparency.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a 180 from that whole hush-hush thing they've had going on forever, with all this. It's a big change.
Totally. It's not every day that we see Congress just openly talking about stuff that used to be like straight up science fiction.
Right.
So this hearing, it was all about pushing for more open discussions, investigations, the whole shebang. But here's the big question. Why now? With a sudden urge to spill the tea.
Well, if we rewind a bit, right, like way back, that whole secrecy thing around UAPs, it was all about national security, or at least that's what they told us.
Yeah.
But here's the kicker, that secrecy might actually be riskier now.
Interesting.
Yeah, because no transparency, just
Yeah.
breeds speculation, right? And then, boom, it's a free-for-all. Hard to tell the real threats from just, stuff we misidentified.
So they're basically saying that by being more open about what they know, even if it's not a ton, it actually makes us safer.
Exactly.
Ah.
It's about moving away from that whole cloak and dagger thing
Right.
and going for, an informed assessment. This hearing also had, all sorts of witnesses.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we had former military pilots, intelligence analysts, people who even said they had, physical side effects from UAP encounters.
Hold on. Okay, now this is where I get a little skeptical. People are claiming to have been hurt, injured by UAPs. That sounds like a big jump from just seeing some fuzzy lights, don't you think?
That's a big point of debate, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Some accounts talk about, physiological effects,
Right.
stuff that could be linked to electromagnetic fields, radiation. But then others, not so clear-cut.
Right.
We really have to, take a step back with these testimonies. Look at them with a critical eye. How plausible are they? Are they consistent?
I've been reading some reports that there are even patterns to the injuries, like specific health issues that keep popping up.
Yeah.
Is there anything to that? Or are we just trying to force a connection where there isn't one? You know how our brains can be.
That's where the real investigation comes in, right? Is there, a common thread here? Is it all in their heads?
Yeah.
We need to dig deeper, explore all the scientific explanations before we jump to conclusions about what's causing these things.
Totally. And of course, there's the big, the elephant in the room, government cover-ups.
Oh, yeah.
Was there any evidence at all to support the claims that they're hiding something huge?
So, straight up,
Yeah.
the hearing didn't give us that smoking gun proof of a cover-up. But witnesses, even some folks in Congress, they voiced concerns. They're worried the government knows way more than they're letting on.
So no crashed spaceships in Hangar 18 then?
Not yet, anyway.
But even the suggestion that they might be hiding information, about, say, crazy new technologies, that's pretty juicy, isn't it?
It adds to the whole mystery, for sure. But, hey, let's not forget, just because they aren't transparent doesn't automatically mean they're evil.
Right.
National security is a real thing, and it's a tightrope walk, right? Keeping things under wraps, but also letting the public know what's up.
I guess it boils down to who gets to decide what's sensitive and what we have a right to know.
Exactly. And that whole push and pull, that tension between being open and keeping secrets, it's at the heart of this whole UAP debate.
Okay, so we've got government secrecy, potential health risks, and a whole bunch of questions that still need answers. Did we get any closer to figuring out if these UAPs are, alien spaceships? Or are we still just guessing?
The main takeaway here is that even with all the hype, no hard proof of aliens was presented at the hearing.
Aw, man, no little green men popping out to say hi.
Not this time.
I'll admit, part of me was hoping for some big reveal.
Yeah.
Something mind-blowing.
Well, we didn't get that Hollywood ending. What we did learn is that even with all our fancy sensors and expert analysis, a lot of these UAP sightings, they're still mysteries. And that lack of a clear answer, plus all the stuff we just don't know,
Yeah.
that's what keeps people hooked. And it's also why we got to be cautious.
Right, I get it. It's like we're wired to explain things, to fill in those blanks with whatever makes sense, even if it's aliens.
It's human nature.
Yeah.
But it also shows us how much we need a more, scientific way of looking at UAT research, evidence-based, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. So let's break down what we did get. What kind of evidence did they actually present at this hearing?
Okay, so we had witness testimony.
Okay.
And those grainy videos everyone loves. We even peeked at some radar data.
Mm-hmm. But what about physical evidence? The real deal.
Right.
Something you can touch, test in a lab, maybe even, reverse engineer.
Yeah.
That's what would really seal the deal, wouldn't it? Having a piece of an actual UAP.
Mm-hmm.
Did they find anything like that?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
And unfortunately, the hearing didn't really give us any solid answers about that.
Oh, okay.
No confirmed cases of, recovered UAP materials, no alien tech just lying around.
So no crashed flying saucers hidden away in a government bunker.
Not that they told us about.
Man, I was kind of hoping for that X-Files moment.
I get it.
The truth is out there and all that.
I know, right? But here's the thing. Even without, a piece of a spaceship, we can't just write off the whole UAP thing.
True.
It just means we got to be, a little more open-minded in how we look at it all.
Some experts say that if these UAPs are using some crazy advanced tech, stuff we can't even imagine, we might not even know what to look for.
Yeah, that's possible.
Imagine trying to understand a smartphone with Stone Age tools.
Exactly.
You wouldn't even know where to start.
Our current instruments, our methods, they might not be sophisticated enough to pick up on these super advanced materials or energy signatures. Things that work in ways we haven't even thought of.
Wow, that's both mind-blowing and a little scary. So what you're saying is we might need a whole new scientific revolution, a complete rethink of physics to even begin to wrap our heads around what we're dealing with.
Could be.
That's intense.
It really highlights how important it is to keep investing in research, the cutting-edge stuff,
Yeah.
especially in things like sensor tech, material science, all that.
So it's like we're on the edge of a whole new frontier.
Yeah.
A scientific Wild West, if you will, with all the excitement and unknowns that come with it.
Exactly. And who knows what we'll find out there.
Right. I mean, that's what's so cool about science. It's all about pushing the boundaries, challenging what we think we know.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I gotta ask, do you personally believe that some of these UAPs could be, alien spacecraft?
The age-old question.
I know,
It's
right?
the question, right? It's been bugging us for centuries, and the evidence is definitely interesting. But is it enough to say for sure? Not yet.
Okay.
We need more data, more research, more rigorous analysis. Got to follow the scientific method.
So you're saying you're open to the possibility, but you're not ready to jump on the alien bandwagon just yet.
Look, as scientists, we got to stick to the facts.
Yeah.
Right? Logic, critical thinking, that's our jam.
Right.
Can't let our imaginations run wild no matter how much we want to believe. We follow the data wherever it leads, even if it takes us to some pretty wild conclusions.
I like that approach. But I can't help but wonder, what if? What if we did find undeniable proof of aliens? What do you think that would do to us, to humanity?
That's a question that's been keeping philosophers and sci-fi writers busy forever. It's really impossible to say for sure,
Yeah.
but it would definitely be a game changer, a turning point in history, no doubt.
Right. I imagine it would turn everything we thought we knew about ourselves upside down. Our place in the universe, even the meaning of life, right?
Oh, absolutely. We'd have to face the fact that we're not alone, that there are other intelligent beings out there, maybe with technology and cultures that are way beyond anything we can even understand.
It's kind of terrifying, but also exciting at the same time.
For sure.
I've read that some people think it would cause mass panic, chaos. Others say it would bring us all together, force us to work together as a species to face whatever's out there.
Hard to say which way it would go. Human history is a mixed bag, right? We've got good and bad in us.
Yeah, that's true. It's almost too much to process.
It's a lot.
But then again, think of the possibilities.
Yeah.
The things we could learn, the tech we could develop, maybe even collaborating with another intelligent species.
The possibilities are pretty much endless. Imagine what it could do for science and tech.
Right. New ways to get energy, travel through space, maybe even mess with time itself. It's like something out of a movie.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But then again, so did the internet a few decades ago, and look at us now.
That's a good point.
And beyond all the practical stuff, there's the big philosophical questions.
Yeah.
What does it mean for our understanding of the universe? Our place in it all? The whole nature of consciousness?
Yeah, it would totally change how we see the world, force us to rethink everything.
And that's the real power of this whole UAP thing, I think. It forces us to look beyond what we know, to question everything, and to be okay with not having all the answers, to be, humble.
That's beautifully put.
Thanks.
So we've gone from government secrets to, like, the meaning of life in the face of aliens.
It's been a wild ride.
It really has. And we've tried to stay grounded, skeptical, but also open to the possibilities. So for our listeners who've been with us on this deep dive, what's the takeaway? What do we do now?
I think the biggest thing is we need to shift gears, you know. We got to move away from all the speculation and get down to serious scientific investigation. No more blurry videos, no more just stories. We need to treat UAPs like any other scientific mystery. It's time.
I've read some stuff saying that scientists have been kind of dismissive of UAPs, like it's all a big joke.
Oh yeah, the giggle factor.
Yeah, like they don't want to touch it because it'll hurt their credibility. Do you think there's truth to that?
There's definitely a stigma, no doubt. It's held us back, for sure. But I do think things are changing.
That's good.
More and more scientists are realizing we can't just ignore this stuff, no matter how weird it seems.
So if we were to do this the right way, a real scientific investigation, what would that look like?
Okay, so first we need some ground rules, right?
Okay.
Standardized protocols for collecting data.
Yeah.
Then we bring in the big guns. Advanced sensors, the best analytical techniques. And we can't do it alone. This needs to be a team effort. Astronomers, physicists, atmospheric scientists, even psychologists, all working together.
I've even heard people talking about a global UAP database, like one giant collection of all the data from everywhere.
Right.
That way we could actually look for patterns, connections, maybe even categorize different types of UAPs. What do you think?
I think it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah?
A centralized database. That's how we can really dig into the data, find those trends and anomalies. It could tell us so much.
But let's be real. There are still a lot of people out there who just aren't buying it. They hear UAP and they roll their eyes. What would you say to those folks?
I get it. Look, skepticism is a good thing. It's healthy to question, to demand proof, especially when something sounds too good to be true. But I'd also say, don't shut yourself off completely.
Keep an open mind.
Exactly. This universe is vast, it's full of mysteries, and it's pretty arrogant to think we've got it all figured out.
It's like they say, just because we haven't found proof of something doesn't mean it's not out there.
Exactly. We're learning new things all the time. Our understanding of the universe is always evolving. Who knows what's waiting to be discovered?
So for our listeners who've been on this journey with us, what's the message you want them to take away?
Stay curious. Keep asking questions. Don't be afraid of the unknown. That's what drives us forward, you know, that thirst for knowledge, that desire to understand what's out there. And when it comes to UAPs, we're just at the beginning. There's so much more to explore.
I love that. And hey, maybe someday we'll look back at this time and realize it was a turning point. The moment when we finally realized we're not alone in the universe.
That would be something, wouldn't it? And just imagine what could happen then. New scientific breakthroughs, incredible technologies, maybe even a deeper understanding of what it means to be human.
This deep dive has been incredible.
Yeah.
Seriously mind-blowing. We've talked about everything from government secrets to aliens and the meaning of life. It's been wild.
Absolutely. We covered a lot of ground.
Yeah.
But one thing's for sure. The conversation about UAPs is just getting started.
To our listeners, keep exploring. Keep asking those tough questions and keep looking up at the stars. There's a whole universe out there, and it's waiting for us to discover its secrets.